my god, Zuvi.
Yo, what's down with y'all? Welcome back to another episode of Urban Review. Shout out to everybody that's enjoying this series and watching the full videos. If you want to connect with me, my Instagram's link in bio and my Discord's in the video description. Also, feel free to have an open discussion in the comments down below. Make sure y'all like, subscribe, and stay tuned to all the videos I got coming up. Scene opens up, we see Rhaenyra on one of her Find My Man tours. We see a variety pack of old to young niggas, bro. Now, last episode when the king said, I'll just let you pick your man, why would the king still be suggesting older niggas, bro? Excuse my language. We see this old man foaming out the mouth talking about, I knew your grandmother to Rhaenyra. Rhaenyra takes this as a joke and calls the next person up. A young preteen from the Blackwoods comes up and presents himself. Rhaenyra looks at him crazy and calls him a child. Now, this show be a little backwards sometimes, bro. How's he gonna look at my dog crazy for being a couple years younger than you? At this point, just find the median age in the room and be satisfied. The preteen reassures Rhaenyra protection and service. We hear a voice clowning the teen for saying protection, considering she already has a dragon. My dog whipped out a sword larger than him and ran straight to him. Older dude whips out a dagger like he finna defend himself against that big sword. Rhaenyra gets impatient and attempts to leave with Kristen Cole. Rhaenyra looks back and sees the preteen cut him down. Imagine talking crazy to a young nigga, bro, and then you get chopped up, fool. What an embarrassment from the house he came from. We get a cutscene. We see Rhaenyra traveling back on ship to King's Landing. We see Rhaenyra looking out into the ocean. We see Daemon's dragon clash against the ship. Rhaenyra falls and hits her head, and Kristen requests for a maester. Rhaenyra claims she's okay as she knows Daemon is going back home. We see King Viserys in the throne room getting ready for his brother's arrival. My dog Daemon stands at the door with a crown on his head. We see Rhaenyra in the crowd gazing into her uncle's eyes. Daemon makes his way to the front of the room and gets stopped by the king's guards. Daemon uplifts the crowd feeder's axe and says, add it to the chair. Them folks thought he was finna kill somebody in that room, bro. My dog just wanted to add the axe to the Iron Throne and a nice entry, fool. The king questions him for having a crown on his head. Daemon puts his pride to the side and says, you're the true king. Daemon removes his crown and presents it to Viserys. The king comes down from the throne and greets him with a nice hug. Then Viserys gives him respect for what he did at the Stepstones. The two walk off together and now it's time to party. We get a scene come, we see Viserys, Alicent, and Daemon conversating. Rhaenyra walks up to the three and greets her uncle. After a sentence, Viserys gives her a side eye. Daemon appreciates it, and Alicent suggests her and Rhaenyra go and do something. The two sit down and Alicent hypes Rhaenyra for having the whole realm's eye on her. Rhaenyra explains it's only for her ancient blood and her offspring. Knowing all the men she declined earlier, she asks how mad is the king. Alicent shares her insight on how much effort the king put in. It's good to see both Alicent and Rhaenyra being cool with each other again. Scene switches over and we see Rhaenyra and Daemon speaking High Valyrian. Daemon talking about, it look like you've matured. What you mean by that, bro? Rhaenyra updates Daemon on how the king's been trying to sell her off. Daemon says marriage is duty, but then has his own twist to it, saying you can do whatever you want after. Rhaenyra started talking about babies and says she won't have the same fate as her mother. Day passes and we see my girl Alicent holding her baby looking out the window. We then see Rhaenyra say goodnight to Kristen Cole before she walks into her chambers. Rhaenyra closes her door and she sees a bag of weird clothes on her table. Then she finds a hidden note in her bag describing where an exit point in her room is. Rhaenyra puts on those clothes and exits through the secret room. She follows the path and she sees Daemon standing at the end of it. Daemon took her hand and both of them were able to leave the castle gates. This man took her into the open population with no protection. While they're walking through the streets, Rhaenyra bumps into a man and he calls her boy. This tells her a little disguise is working. Daemon takes her to a little theater show and they hear all the slander they be talking about in the population. Rhaenyra almost crashed out and said something in the crowd. She didn't like what she heard in the play and storms off. Rhaenyra visits a merchant and steals from him. She busted all them corners and ran into Sir Strong's son. He recognizes her face and says, what are you doing, princess? Rhaenyra talking about some shh and walked right past him. Daemon catches up back with her and takes her to a pleasure house. I'm not trying to get no strikes on my page, but bro, there's everybody in this pleasure house doing everything to each other, fool. After all the pornography shown in the scenes, Daemon and Rhaenyra get in the middle of the pleasure house. What y'all finna do in there, bro? Daemon grabs Rhaenyra's face and kisses her. I know you ain't grab your niece and hit the hoe, fool. This my second crush of the show and she getting molested by her uncle. And the worst part, Rhaenyra and that bitch kissing back, bro. Excuse my language, fool. I don't mean to offend nobody. We get a scene cut. We see Alicent getting her guts rearranged by Viserys. This tops it off, bro. I'm not trying to see this, bro. Y'all gonna have to see this episode because I'm done talking about these events. I'm finna end this video here, bro. I appreciate y'all. Y'all pray for me, bro. I need it. Shout out to everybody that made it to the end of the video, man. Y'all make sure y'all like, subscribe, and I'm going to catch y'all in the next video. Y'all stay blessed.